Have you ever wondered why, when everything seems to be falling apart, when plans are falling apart and your heart is breaking, something inside you begins to transform, as if the universe is conspiring to lead you to a higher purpose? Napoleon Hill, a visionary who interviewed the titans of his time, from Andrew Carnegie to Thomas Edison, understood that success is not an accident, but the result of universal principles applied with faith and persistence. In his masterpiece, Think and Grow Rich, published in 1937, Napoleon Hill taught that breakups, moments of pain, loss, or failure, are not punishments from fate, but hidden opportunities. He saw life as a great workshop, where adversity polishes character, sharpens vision, and awakens inner strength. Do you find yourself in a dark valley where plans are frustrated and doors are closed? Napoleon Hill would tell you that you are in the crucible of success, where the universe is molding your soul to create what you have dreamed of. Open your mind and your heart, because with the wisdom of Napoleon Hill, you will learn how to turn moments of breakup into the foundations of an extraordinary life. Prove that you are a true follower of Napoleon Hill's wisdom. How many of us will turn our breakups into steps to success? Click subscribe and hit the bell to join this community living by the principles of Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill taught that the first great truth about breakups is that they are the starting point for personal growth. He believed that just as a seed must be broken to germinate, the soul must be broken to unlock its potential. In his book, Keys to Success, Napoleon Hill explained that 98% of the successful people he studied faced devastating failures before achieving greatness. Think of Henry Ford, who went bankrupt several times before revolutionizing the automobile industry with the Model T in 1908. Napoleon Hill would say that moments of upheaval, financial losses, shattered dreams, broken relationships are not the end, but the beginning of a metamorphosis. Feeling like you've hit rock bottom? Napoleon Hill would challenge you to look beyond the pain and ask, what can I learn from this? He taught that every adversity carries the seed of an equivalent opportunity. Today, she declares, my breakups are my launching pad. Imagine how your life would change if you saw every difficulty as a hidden teacher guiding you toward your destiny. The second truth Napoleon Hill emphasizes is that breakups purify your desires and clarify your purpose. He observed that in times of crisis, distractions disappear and what is truly important becomes crystal clear. In 1929, during the Great Depression, Napoleon Hill witnessed millions of people lose everything, but some, like John D. Rockefeller, used the crisis to focus on what matters most and become even stronger. Napoleon Hill taught that pain acts as a filter, removing superficial desires and revealing your soul's burning purpose. Are you stuck in a cycle of uncertainty and not knowing where to go? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to take this break and ask yourself, what do I really want? In his seminars, he encouraged people to formulate a specific purpose, to clearly state what they want to achieve. Take a moment today and write, my purpose is, she states, my breakup showed me my true calling. Feel the clarity begin to illuminate your path, like a flashlight in the darkness. The third truth Napoleon Hill emphasizes is that breakups awaken your faith in yourself and the universe. He believed that faith is the invisible force that turns dreams into reality. In his book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill devoted an entire chapter to faith, explaining that breakups, although painful, strengthen your belief that you can overcome any obstacle. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed 10,000 times before perfecting the light bulb in 1879. Napoleon Hill would say that each failed attempt was a breakthrough that fueled Edison's faith in his vision. Do you feel paralyzed by doubt, unable to move forward? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to repeat this affirmation, I believe in my ability to succeed. He taught that repeating positive affirmations reprograms the subconscious, transforming fear into confidence. Today, I said with confidence, my faith grows with every break. Watch your spirit grow stronger, ready to face whatever comes. If you enjoyed this message inspired by the wisdom of Napoleon Hill, click subscribe now, it's free. And you have no excuse not to join this community that turns failures into victories. The fourth truth Napoleon Hill emphasizes is that breakups build resilience, which is the key to sustaining long-term success. He observed that people who achieve great things are not the most talented people, but those who persevere despite the difficulties. In 1914, Napoleon Hill himself faced a crisis when his publishing business collapsed. But instead of giving up, he redoubled his commitment to his mission of teaching the principles of success. He would say that every breakup is an exercise in your endurance. Do you feel like life's blows are weakening you? Napoleon Hill would advise you to view each challenge as a rep in the gym of your soul. In his writings, he quoted Calvin Coolidge, who said, "There is no substitute for persistence." Today, she declares, "Every breakup makes me stronger." Feel your ability to grow with every obstacle you face. The fifth truth Napoleon Hill taught is that breakups connect you to others, making you a beacon of hope. He believed that people who have overcome great adversity have a unique ability to inspire and guide others. In 1938, Napoleon Hill, inspired by his own experiences overcoming poverty and rejection, founded the Napoleon Hill Foundation to share his teachings. He would say that your breakups are not just about you, they are a testimony to those still in the darkness. Do you feel isolated by the pain? Napoleon Hill would challenge you to share your story, because in your vulnerability lies your strength. In his lectures, he saw people who shared their struggles form deep connections with others. Today, she declares, "My breakup is a bridge that will help others." Imagine the impact you can have by showing the world that success is born from the ashes of failure. Napoleon Hill also insisted that breakups are an opportunity to practice the principle of burning desire, one of the pillars of his philosophy. He taught that strong desire coupled with action can overcome any obstacle. In 1908, when Andrew Carnegie commissioned Napoleon Hill to interview the world's most successful leaders, he faced doubts and financial constraints, but his burning desire to complete the assignment kept him working hard for 20 years. Do you feel like your dreams are out of reach? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to ignite your desire by visualizing your goal so clearly that you can feel it. He recommended writing a statement of desire and reading it daily. Today, write, "My burning desire is," he declares, "my passion burns hotter than any breakup." Feel that inner fire driving you forward. Another principle Napoleon Hill emphasized was the power of positive thinking in the face of failure. He believed that the mind is the workshop where destinies are forged and negative thoughts are the greatest thieves of success. In 1920, Napoleon Hill faced a personal crisis when his marriage fell apart, but instead of giving in to despair, he chose to focus on thoughts of opportunity. Are you allowing thoughts of defeat to take over your mind? Napoleon Hill would challenge you to replace every negative thought with a positive one, as he did when he repeated, "Every challenge is an opportunity." In his book, Think and Grow Rich, he explained that 90% of our actions are influenced by the subconscious mind, which is responding to what we suggest to it. Today, say, "My thoughts build my victory." Watch as your thinking begins to transform your circumstances. Napoleon Hill also spoke about the importance of self-hypnosis for getting over a breakup. He taught that repeating positive affirmations with emotion can reprogram the mind for success. In the 1930s, during a time of economic hardship, Napoleon Hill used self-hypnosis to stay focused by repeating, "I am the master of my destiny." Do you feel like you are being controlled by your circumstances? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to create a personal affirmation such as, "I am greater than my problems." He recommended repeating this in front of the mirror every morning. Today, he declares, "My mind is programmed for success." Feel how these words begin to shape your reality, giving you the strength to get through any breakup. Another key concept of Napoleon Hill's, the inspiring mind, applies to breakups too. He believed that surrounding yourself with people who shared your vision increased your ability to overcome adversity. In 1910, Napoleon Hill formed his first group of like-minded local businessmen, which helped him overcome his early self-doubt. Do you feel alone in your struggles? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to seek out allies who inspire and encourage you. In his writings, he estimated that 80% of success comes from the connections you develop. Today, find someone you can connect with and proclaim, "My allies strengthen my path." Imagine the strength you feel when you walk alongside those who believe in your dreams. Napoleon Hill also emphasized the importance of taking decisive action when you have a breakthrough. He taught that success comes not from waiting, but from taking deliberate action. In 1925, when Napoleon Hill lost his publishing house, he didn't just sit and moan. He began lecturing to share his ideas. Are you paralyzed by the fear of failure? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to take a step today, no matter how small, toward your goal. He said, "Don't wait. The timing will never be perfect. Today, write down one specific action you will take this week and declare, 'My steps are leading me to success.' Feel how each action brings you closer to your goal, no matter how long the gap." Visualization is another principle Napoleon Hill would incorporate into your response to a breakup. He believed that visualizing your success in detail attracts the opportunities you need. In 1935, Napoleon Hill visualized the global impact of his book before it became successful, and it kept him motivated. Do you have trouble seeing beyond your problems? Napoleon Hill would suggest that you close your eyes and visualize your goal achieved. How does it feel? What does it look like? He recommended devoting 10 minutes a day to this practice. Today, he declares, "I see my victory clearly." Feel how this mental image begins to guide your decisions. Napoleon Hill also spoke about the importance of gratitude in transforming gaps. He taught that gratitude, even in adversity, changes your outlook and attracts blessings. In 1940, after years of ups and downs, Napoleon Hill wrote gratitude letters to his mentors that gave him strength. Are you focusing on what is missing? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to write down 3 things you are grateful for today. He said, "Gratitude is the magnet of success." He states, "My heart is full of gratitude." See how this practice brightens even the darkest days. Discipline is another theme Napoleon Hill would like to emphasize. He believed that success is the result of consistent habits, especially in times of upheaval. In 1928, Napoleon Hill maintained a busy writing schedule despite financial difficulties. Are you addicted to inconsistency? Napoleon Hill suggests that you create a daily routine that includes time for planning, learning, and action. He estimates that 70% of failures are due to lack of discipline. Today, he declares, "My discipline builds my future." Feel how each habit strengthens you. Napoleon Hill also talked about the importance of learning from breakups. He viewed every failure as a valuable lesson. In 1918, when his first business failed, Napoleon Hill analyzed his mistakes and adjusted his approach, which led to subsequent successes. Do you view your failures as defeats? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to ask yourself, what is this breakup teaching me? He recommended keeping a lessons learned journal. Today, write down the lesson you learned from your latest challenge and say, "Every breakup makes me wiser." Imagine how this approach can turn your mistakes into stepping stones to success. Self-confidence is another principle Napoleon Hill would have incorporated into his life. He taught that believing in yourself is essential to surviving a breakup. In 1933, during the economic crisis, Napoleon Hill repeated to himself, "I am capable of achieving anything I set my mind to." Do you doubt your worth? Napoleon Hill would suggest that you list your 5 strengths and verbalize them daily. He believed that 60% of success comes from inner confidence. Today, say, "I believe in my ability to win." Feel that confidence begin to dissolve your insecurities. Napoleon Hill also spoke about the importance of generosity during times of separation. He believed that giving, even in difficult times, opens doors to the universe. In 1945, Napoleon Hill dedicated his time to mentoring young entrepreneurs, further cementing his legacy. Are you closing yourself off from pain? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to give something today, your time, your knowledge, or a word of encouragement. He said, "First you give, then you receive." Declare, "My generosity attracts abundance." Notice how this action changes your perspective. Patience is another theme Napoleon Hill would emphasize. He taught that success takes time, especially after a breakup. In 1920, Napoleon Hill waited years to see the fruits of his research. But his patience resulted in Think and Grow Rich. Are you frustrated by slowness? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to trust the process and say, "My patience builds my victory." He estimates that 50% of dropouts are due to impatience. Today, say, "I believe in the perfect order of the universe." Feel the peace that comes from that calm. Napoleon Hill also spoke about the importance of imagination in bridging gaps. He believed that the creative mind could find solutions where others saw problems. In 1936, Napoleon Hill came up with new ways to spread his teachings, which led to world conferences. Do you feel trapped? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to dream big and ask, what is possible? He recommended spending time on creative brainstorming. Today, he says, my imagination opens up new paths. Imagine how that creativity could change your problems. Self-honesty is another principle Napoleon Hill would have incorporated into his life. He taught that admitting the truth about your mistakes and limitations is the key to growth. In 1923, Napoleon Hill admitted that his impatience had led to failure and that honesty helped him course correct. Do you avoid looking in the mirror? Napoleon Hill would suggest that you make a list of areas where you can improve and declare, "My honesty makes me stronger." Today, say, "I face the truth with courage." Feel how this authenticity sets you free. Napoleon Hill also spoke about the importance of long-term vision in the face of failure. He believed that keeping your eyes on the horizon will prevent temporary setbacks from overpowering you. In 1915, Napoleon Hill envisioned a world transformed by his teachings, which sustained him through difficult times. Are you lost in the problems of the moment? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to write down a vision of your life in 5 years and state, "My vision guides me." Today, say, "I see my future clearly." Notice how this perspective gives you direction. Humility is another theme Napoleon Hill emphasized. He taught that long-term success requires a humble heart, willing to learn from failure. In 1940, Napoleon Hill admitted the errors in his original approach, which led him to refine his teaching. Are you unwilling to admit your mistakes? Napoleon Hill would challenge you to seek feedback by saying, "My humility elevates me." He believed that humility increases your capabilities by 70%. Today, say, "I learn with an open heart." Feel how this posture prepares you for growth. Napoleon Hill also spoke about the importance of adaptability in the face of failure. He taught that success requires the ability to adjust your approach to failure. In 1929, during the Great Depression, Napoleon Hill adapted his methods to reach more people and increase his influence. Are you clinging to old habits? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to try something new and say, "My adaptability opens doors for me." Today, say, "I embrace change with confidence." Imagine how this flexibility can transform your results. Daily gratitude is another principle Napoleon Hill would have included. He believed that daily gratitude, even for loss, sets your mind to abundance. In 1938, Napoleon Hill began each day by writing down what he was grateful for, and this helped him focus. Do you find yourself complaining more than being grateful? Napoleon Hill would suggest that you create a gratitude journal and state, "I am grateful for every lesson." Today, say, "My gratitude is transforming my life." Feel this practice light your path. Napoleon Hill also spoke about the importance of consistency in habits when it comes to breaking up. He taught that success is the sum of small daily actions. In 1934, Napoleon Hill continued to write daily, even during periods of doubt, which influenced his books. Do you give up your habits under pressure? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to commit to reading 10 pages a day and declare, "My consistency is the key to my success." Today, say, "Every day I take one step forward." See how those small steps take you far. Faith in the universe is another theme Napoleon Hill would emphasize. He believed that faith in a higher power gives meaning to breakups. In 1942, Napoleon Hill was criticized for his ideas, but his faith in the guidance of the universe sustained him. Are you doubting the purpose of your struggle? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to pray or meditate by stating, "I have faith in the plan of the universe." Today, say, "The universe favors me." Feel how this faith gives you peace during the storm. Napoleon Hill also spoke about the importance of mental self-discipline in the face of relationship breakdown. He taught that control over your thoughts is the key to control over your destiny. In 1927, Napoleon Hill overcame the despair of a failed project by focusing on thoughts of possibilities. Are you allowing the chaos of your thoughts to control you? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to practice daily meditation and say, "My mind is my power." Today, say, "I control my thoughts with power." Imagine how this discipline can change your life. Connecting with your purpose is another principle Napoleon Hill would have included. He believed that separations remind you why you are here. In 1939, Napoleon Hill rediscovered his purpose to inspire millions after a personal crisis that propelled him to new heights. Do you feel disconnected from your mission? Napoleon Hill would suggest that you write a statement of purpose and proclaim it daily. My purpose drives me. Today, say, I live for my mission. Feel how this connection gives you direction. Napoleon Hill also spoke about the importance of curiosity in the face of failure. He taught that an inquisitive mind finds solutions even in the darkest moments. In 1924, Napoleon Hill explored new industries after a failure, which broadened his horizons. Are you closing yourself off from challenges? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to read a new book or learn a skill and say, my curiosity opens new paths. Today, say, I am a passionate seeker of knowledge. See how this mindset opens new doors for you. Another theme Napoleon Hill would highlight is empathy. He believed that separations make you more sensitive to the pain of others, strengthening your leadership skills. In 1941, Napoleon Hill comforted friends who were suffering from war, which inspired him to write more. Are you ignoring the pain of others? Napoleon Hill would challenge you to listen to someone in need and declare, my empathy builds bridges. Today, say, I connect with the hearts of others. Feel how this compassion makes you a greater leader. Napoleon Hill also talked about the importance of celebrating small victories in the face of setbacks. He taught that recognizing progress keeps you motivated. In 1932, Napoleon Hill celebrated every article he published, even if it was a small step. Are you ignoring your progress? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to write down your daily accomplishments and say, I celebrate each step I take toward my goal. Today, say, my small victories are leading me to bigger ones. Imagine how energizing this practice can be. Another principle Napoleon Hill would have included is integrity. He believed that maintaining your values during a breakup builds unbreakable character. In 1926, Napoleon Hill turned down a questionable offer, which cemented his reputation. Do you compromise your principles under pressure? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to act with integrity and say, my integrity is my foundation. Today, say, I live with integrity at every turn. Feel how this pose gives you a solid foundation. Napoleon Hill also spoke about the importance of personal renewal after a breakup. He taught that the key to success is the ability to reinvent yourself after a failure. In 1931, Napoleon Hill changed his teaching approach after a failure, which allowed him to find a new audience. Are you resistant to change? Napoleon Hill would encourage you to try a new strategy and say, I boldly change myself. Today, say, I embrace the new me. See what doors this renewal opens for you. Spiritual connection is another theme Napoleon Hill would like to emphasize. He believed that breakups bring us closer to a higher power, giving us clarity. In 1943, Napoleon Hill meditated daily to find peace after loss, which inspired him to write even more. Are you ignoring your spiritual side? Napoleon Hill would suggest that you spend 5 minutes a day reflecting and declaring, my spirit is connected to the eternal. Today, say, I find peace in the divine. Feel how this connection empowers you. Thank you for watching the video to the end. Subscribe to receive more useful messages and comments. Process. If you understood how God crushes those whom he wants to use by force,